So in the first game, I'll spend some time explaining some of the basics of the gameplay. So let's take a peek at an Epic card here. So the big thing to know about in Epic is that all of the cards either cost 1 resource or 0 resources. And yeah, this is a sponsored segment. I just added sponsored to the stream title. So I pretty much don't stream non-Magic games unless they're sponsored, just like not enough time in the day to do that, and Magic is my job. The mulliganing system in this game works such that at the beginning of the game, you can mulligan any number of cards from your hand. And for each card you mulligan in this partial mulligan system, you lose 1 life. So I'm going to go ahead and mulligan 3 of these cards here, try and find some free cards to start. So it's my turn. Each turn you get 1 coin to play a card with. And the thing you want to know is that... The thing you want to know is that your coin does not roll over. So it's use it or lose it. So I'm going to start by playing Urgent Messengers here, I think. Which draws 2 cards and then puts 2 tokens into play. You can see I have a couple of free cards here as well. So in Epic, you can play cards on your opponent's turns. However, there is not a priority system like in Magic. So when you play a card in Epic, your card just resolves immediately. But whenever you pass to the next phase of the game, your opponent gets a chance to play things. So when I passed the turn, my opponent played a Fairy Trickster here. It is Ambush, so they can play it on my turn. This is a 5/5 that has an activated ability. It reveals the top card of the player's deck. They can cast that card. So they're looking at my Palace card here, and they don't have a coin, so they can't play it. Now, the way Epic works is the turn sequence is fluid. So every time your opponent does something, you get a chance to do something as well. So even though I passed the turn, my opponent took a game action here. So if I wanted, I get a chance to play 0 cost things now. I think I'm going to go ahead and play my White Dragon out just so it can block their 5/5 if I would like. This has a mechanic called Recycle on it, which could let me draw an extra card if I waited till later to play it, but I think I'd rather just get my 5/5 flyer into play. So I'm going to go ahead and pass to my opponent. And then because I passed to my opponent here, they get a chance to play cards. They don't have anything else to play, it looks like. You'll see there's a next game button here while I'm sitting here waiting for my opponent to play. Something their client actually supports is playing multiple games at the same time. In addition to playing real-time games where both players have a timer, you can also play games in an asynchronous game mode. What does that do? If it is your turn, gain control of target 0-cost champion, expend that champion. Well, that's rude. So they're attacking me with this this 5/5 flyer, it looks like. I have a 5/6 flyer that's going to be able to have ambush. I'll be able to flash this into play before block. So before we go to blockers, I'm going to go ahead and play my Angel of Light and use my coin. This has a mechanic called Loyalty on it. So while there aren't resources in the decks, one of the ways they kind of encourage you to not just play all the colors in this game is the more powerful cards have a mechanic called Loyalty on them, which when you play them or they come into play, you reveal cards of the same alignment as them to gain an extra effect. So when I play this card, it always gains me 5, and then if I have 2 good cards to reveal, 2 yellow cards, it gains me extra. And now, because I took a game action here, my opponent has a chance to play things before I get to blockers. So if they have a removal spell, they could kill this before I block their creature. So they let me get to blockers. We'll block. Hey, Project Swamp, thanks for the 26 months. Welcome back. One of the things that you'll notice here, when I blocked, my card turned upside down. This is to signify that this card is already blocked for the turn. the way combat in Epic works is similar to Magic with a little bit of a twist. So they declare attackers, we declare blockers. So this returns a champion to my hand, and then I banish a card from my hand. That's rude. I think I'm actually just gonna get rid of the Angel of Light. So it's the difference in combat in this game is that you don't attack with all of your creatures at once in Epic, and the turn cycle is fluid. So for example, in Epic, the reason why it's meaningful to turn the card upside down when it blocks is because your opponent can attack with one of their champions, see what you do and what you block, and then they can do something else as well, and then attack with another thing afterwards. So like what you do in their first attack might dictate how they want to attack later. One of the other ways combat differs in this game from Magic is that you attack with multiple creatures together at the same time. So like, for example, if I had a 3-power champion and a 2-power champion, I could attack them together into their 5/5, and their 5/5 would have to block all of my things together. I don't have any cosmetics in this deck. So Kong is a 13/14, when it comes into play, it deals 13 to something. So I think I'm going to go ahead and play this out and go ahead and kill their flyer here. So they have 10 power in the air, but I'm at 37, so I'm relatively healthy. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and pass. So deal with the giant monkey. That's Kong. He's here to smash. They played a force field, which draws 2 cards, or each opposing champion loses 5 attack, or each opposing champion loses 10. So they played it to draw 2. If you ever miss what your opponent did, there's a very simple game log up here. So you can see here it said they played force field, choosing to draw 2 cards. As you know, it's a release-ready client, so it has features like a game log. Small indie company made this, so naturally there's a game log included already. Five attacks. I don't have any flying blockers at the moment, so we're just going to go have to take this hit on the nose. So we'll go down to 32. Can't block that one. And you can see again here, highlighting the multiple combat steps they attack with each one at a time. Are there card colors that signify something? Yes, so I talked about this a little bit earlier, and that's the way they kind of balance the card colors in this game is things that trigger based on playing cards of similar colors. So like Noble Unicorn's a good example here. This says when it comes into play and when I play another good card, this draws a card. So because there aren't resources in your deck, the way they encourage you from just playing a deck full of good cards is through things like that. Also, the way the free cards in this game work during deck constructed in the constructed format is you can only have 1 free card of your deck in a color for every 2 cards that cost 1 of that color. So for example, in order to put Brave Squire in my deck, I have to have 2 1-cost good cards in my deck as well. So some of the better cards in this game that allow you to gain tempo are cards that are free. So you have to balance which free cards you're able to play in your deck that cost 0 by playing cards that cost 1 of those colors. There's also the loyalty mechanic, which that card got banished away, which gives you a bonus if you have other cards of that color to reveal. So this is just a 1/2 that gains them life when they play good cards. Yeah, Hacksaw, that's a Twitter bug. It just like randomly grabs one of your last stream titles. It doesn't grab the current stream title in the link preview. So unfortunately, that's not something I have control over. It is a little awkward that it randomly grabbed the Rage stream from last Friday, which was a different sponsored thing, but I don't have any control over that preview, like I said. So one of the things that happens in this game a lot is you kind of play chicken when you get ahead on board a little bit. So because the 1-cost cards are more powerful, a lot of the time if you're ahead on board, it can be right to just not use your coin, because if you don't use your coin when you're ahead on board, that puts the onus on your opponent to use their coin first, and then you can use your resource to respond to theirs. So I think because I have a 6/6 and they only have a 1/2, I'm just gonna pass here. One of the things to be aware of is that every color in this game has various cards that clean the board out. So even though a lot of the units in this game are large, the games tend to be pretty long and grindy because there are a lot of very interactive things. There are also random things that gain them life. So this gains them 5 and draws them a card. And it was a free spell. They still have their coin there. They're playing an Angel of Light out here, which is a 5/6. And they didn't have anything to reveal, so they only gained 5 and then 3. And then because they took game actions, I get a chance to do things now. Yes, your coin always goes back to 1 at the start of each player's turn, and you cannot save it. It's a use it or lose it. I'm going to play a second unicorn here, which draws me 2. This deals 5 damage to something. This is a 5/6. It's not quite useful yet. We'll just go ahead and pass here. They're classic archetypes like aggro, mid-range, and control. I believe so. I played a good bit of this the constructed format in this game before Gen Con last year, and there was an okay amount of variety playing on the app. I believe they have 4 different sets of cards in paper, and the digital app currently has 3 sets of cards. If you play the game in paper, it's a living card game in paper, so both their paper distribution model and their digital distribution model are very consumer friendly. Very, very reasonably priced to get access to the cards you actually want to play. My 6/6 is on the ground, and this is airborne, so we just have to take 5 here and drop down to 22. My hand's a little bit medium right now. Surprise Attack, I think, is actually one of the more powerful cards in this game. It replaces itself and then lets you put a champion into play on their turn, which is great. This is a 6/6 with Airborne, Blitz, Righteousness. While this card is expended, you cannot be attacked, and Righteousness is lifelink, so it gets to attack me right away here. Oh, they're not attacking with this? Is that a mistake? I feel like that was probably a mistake. I think I want to play Urgent Messenger, so he's gonna give them a chance to attack me if they want, but I definitely need to get some cards going so I can kill some of their angels here. It sounds like there's a child above me. Oop. That's something I gotta get used to. Alright, start my turn. The button defaults there to skipping to the next game, I guess, if I don't have priority on me. So I can't attack because this is expended. I'm super far ahead with number of cards in my hand, so I probably just want to sweep the board here, huh? Banish all non-token champions. Oh, that's actually really good. So this will let me keep my human squires here, which is great. Oh, and I draw 2 because of those 2. That's great. And I get to keep these. Then I can go ahead and play this out, which gives me a token and makes my other tokens bigger. Let's play this. This has a mechanic called Recycle, so I can put 2 cards in the bottom of my deck when I play it to draw a card. Now, there can be some downside to putting cards in the bottom of your deck, because in this game, in this game, you win the game if you manage to deck out. There is a hand size limit. I don't remember what it is. I think we might find out here. But if there is, it happens at the end of the turn, like in Magic. They're playing H-Enchant to draw 2. So it feels like we're pretty far ahead here. We're ahead on board. We've got more cards in hand. We're a little bit behind on life total, but life total is a resource in this, just like in most games. Battle Cry is one of the ways this deck ends the game. It gives all your champions 3/3 and breakthrough, which is trample. So it gives you an overrun. You win the game by drawing. Yes, drawing cards wins you the game. So every card in Epic costs either 1 or 0 resources, and then there's a deck building restriction. Hand too big, discard 3 cards. All right, so I got to get rid of 3 here. So the hand size limit is 7 then, like Magic. And your resource replenishes at the start of each player's turn. If you don't use your resource at a turn, you do not get to conserve it. So it's kind of a use it or lose it. They banished all my champions. Let's go ahead and play Angel of Light here. It is Ambush. We'll reveal these 2. So have to reveal 2 good cards to get the extra bonus. This gains me 10. And now we're not nearly as far ahead as when our board was big a second ago, but we are still close in life, and I have a 5/6 and they don't have anything. This is Tribute, draw a card, and has Blitz if I give it loyalty. So let's start by attacking with this and see what they do. So Banish puts a card on the bottom of its controller's deck. If it's a token card, it just goes away. Yes, there isn't an exile zone in this game. It puts it on the bottom of the deck. Draw 2 cards, remove all of your attacking or blocking champions. Okay, so they're just gassing up here. So they're gonna take a hit. So they'll take 5 here. And then unless they have a free champion, we're probably gonna hit them with White Knight as well here. So deal 5. We'll play White Knight. Which, one of the things to know, you choose the order your triggers happen. So let's say I didn't have 2 good cards already. I get the option to choose to draw before I use the loyalty ability. So you, like, have a chance to hit. So this can break an evil champion. My opponent doesn't seem to have any evil cards. I'm going to attack to start. And again, you have as many individual combat steps and main phases as you would like in any order you would like them. It's a lot of flexibility in sequencing decisions in game to game. So this gains them 5 life and has the recycle mechanic, so they put 2 cards in the bottom of their deck to draw a card. So this card's pretty commonly played from other things that I've seen. It's just like replaces itself, it's free. They played something, so I get a chance to take a game action, but I don't have anything to do here, so we'll just pass back. You go to the next turn when both players pass priority at the end of a turn. So, opponent's at 33, but like I've got 14 power in play. Games can close pretty quickly in Epic if the boards are left unchecked. So this is a 1/2 that recycles, so that draws them a card when it comes into play because they had things to banish from their bin. And then whenever they play a good card from here on out, they gain 3. Yeah, it's available on Android, iOS, and Steam. So it says Airborne and Blitz, so it can attack right away, and it says your good champions have righteousness. Huh? This is gonna lifelink them some more. They have a lot of things that gain life in their deck. Very difficult to race. Probably need to find something to interact with this. Think I'm going to use Divine Judgment to draw 2 cards here. Try and find something to interact with this without killing my stuff. Angel of Mercy's a good one. Return something from my discard pile to play a good champion every turn. Oh, is there an alternate win con card that wins when you gain 60 life? I'm not 100% familiar with everything, all the cards in this game. Let's start by attacking here. See if my attacks induce them to make any decisions. I guess I could have left this back along with Brave Squire. Although I have Angel of Mercy, so she can also block, potentially. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, 9 cards in hand. Have to discard down to 7 at end of turn. I think I'm going to play this 13, 15 out, just like get another big monster into play. That's a Palace card, so that's sweet. So this banishes a champion when it comes into play, and I can sneak attack it into play next turn to get rid of one of these, or to get rid of their 6/8 that's lifelinking them. I'm going to get Wolf's Bite to kill this, and then I'm going to decline to recycle, I think, because I'd have to discard anyways. We'll see. My board might be big enough at this point that they just want to sweep to get things back in check since their life total is still high. They're just drawing 2. Yep, that's fine. What am I discarding here? It might just be Battle Cry. What does that do? Plays Arcane Research. Banish this card into a card from your discard pile. For each card banish this way, reveal a card from the top of your deck. Put 1 in your hand, banish the rest. Wow, that card's really good. So you're like looking at their top 4 here? Sure. That's one thing I wish this interface did that Arena's really good about. They just took a card to their hand. They took Angel of the Gate. Start of your turn, gain 5 life. I wish I could. I wish it showed them face up like Arena does. Have to discard a card here. Of course there's a game log, Marty. They're just a small indie company. I'm gonna hold on to the Battle Cry, because Battle Cry is a card that can maybe punk them out later. I'm gonna get rid of the Lightning Strike. Hopefully I don't live to regret that one. So I think if they attack with this turn, I just take the hit. Because I don't want to sneak attack, Palace Guard, get rid of this, and then like have them play a sweeper and clean the board and have it be empty. Because like even if they attack with this, I'm still pretty far ahead. I've got, even if they gain 6, they go to 34. I have 15, 24, 29 power in play at the moment. They might attack and then just like have to sweep this board anyways. Yes, the games in Epic tend to be a little bit on the longer side. One of the things that's nice about the client is if you don't have time to play an entire game in one sitting, this game that I'm actually playing in right now, as opposed to being real time with both players' timers ticking down, it's asynchronous. So if my opponent and I, one of us or both of us needed to take a break, you can actually pause and walk away from the game and like come back to this later, and it gives each player a day to take their game action. So when I was, and you can see there, it just said they took a move, and it's now my turn to play. Each player chooses one champion and then breaks the rest. Okay. Keep my 13, 15. Yeah, it's a really neat feature. You can also play, like, so you can be playing multiple asynchronous games at the same time. So this attack's actually really good for us. I get to go ahead and Angel of Mercy here. And then I get to Brave Squire my Angel of Mercy to give it extra attack and make it unbreakable. And then I get to block their thing. So my thing's going to eat their thing inside of combat. And then Angel of Mercy brings a good champion from my discard pile back to play next turn. So I get to eat their thing, have these in play, and then gain another thing into play next turn. Yes, this is not Hearthstone, and there's no Teferi to make you turn it into Hearthstone. What do you mean, little man? There isn't like an actual pause button. Maybe that would be a good feature to have. Like, be able to like push a thing that's like, hey, I need to walk away. Wow, that's super rude. Banish target player's discard pile and then they get to recycle. Well, they took away all of my friends, so Angel of Mercy doesn't get to get anything back here now. So I have 13, 17, 18 power. This does 9 more, so this is 27. I could technically try and kill them here, but that's probably needlessly aggressive. We'll start by attacking my 13, 15 and see if they do anything. Again, we can attack with our things one at a time or in one big group. The downside to attacking with one big group is if they flash in one blocker, they block your whole group at once. So generally speaking, in your combat, you want to be attacking with things one at a time. Yeah, we're gonna actually do, I actually really like the limited. Actually, it is very similar to banding, only with multiple combat steps, frags. You attack, you basically get the option to attack with one band at a time as many times as you'd like. So we knew about this 7/7 flyer, so that's fine if they want to block. Once they block, I'll be able to Brave Squire to protect my Angel of Mercy. So we'll get to kill their thing, and that gives me a 1/1, and then gives the creature 5 attack and unbreakable. So before we assign damage, we'll Brave Squire, get a token, get to eat their 7/7, so they don't take damage because they blocked. And now we'll get to go ahead and attack with this. And then I actually don't really have anything super useful in my hand to put into play. Like, most of my things that attack, so 3/3 and breakthrough wasn't particularly exciting. I want to save my sneak attacks for their turns. I think I'm actually just passing without using my coin this turn, which, like, feels a little bit bad from a resource efficiency standpoint, but, like, I'm also already ahead on board, so it's, like, not that big of a deal. So this is a 9/3 that draws a card because of loyalty and has breakthrough and blitz. It's unbreakable on their turn. It's not untargetable, right? Breakthrough, unbreakable. This banishes a champion, so I get to go ahead and surprise attack here, which draws me a card and then drops Palace Guard into play. And then when Palace Guard comes into play, he banishes something, which is different than breaking it. So breaking is like destroy, and banishing is not quite exile because it puts it on the bottom of their deck, but it's similar. This gives my other human champions 1 extra attack. Sure. Let's start by attacking with Angel of Mercy and see what they do. They might play a 1-cost card to deal with this Angel of Mercy, which gives me a window to like Battle Cry plus Rebel Leader to kill them. And I don't necessarily want to Battle Cry preemptively because my opponent could have an instant speed sweeper. Some of the sweepers work on.
Eat dirt.
So since they played their 1-cost card already, I'm gonna go ahead and Battle Cry here, which is probably the game. Because they have 18 and they have 6 here, so they're at 24 basically, but these have Breakthrough, which is Trample. I guess because these have Breakthrough, I could probably attack with them all at once. Sweet. Hey, look at that. We have 2 wins to balance our... Well, there were some other losses. All right. Let's try... He brought me cinnamon rolls. I love you.
It's the closest thing to cake we had.
It's the closest thing to... Oh, right. Declan came down and asked me if I wanted some.
Yeah, it was his idea.
All right, I'm gonna take my Invisalign out real quick so I can eat some cinnamon rolls while we play here.
Entertain the chat while you do that.
Well, I have to hide my camera.
You could just go off camera. You're typing in chat.
We need more campaign Wolfpack audio. Lol. All right, let's try Dark Draft. Perfect. So the way Dark Draft works is it's a 1-on-1 limited format where each player gets a 5-card pack to look at, and you take one of the cards out of the pack, and then you pass the remaining 4 to the other player. And then you each take 2 out of the second pack of 4 cards that you look at, then the other 2 get discarded. Each card in Dark Draft is only included once, so you don't have to worry about a second copy if you have one of them. There isn't a restriction on 0-cost cards in Dark Draft, so generally speaking, prioritizing picking up good 0-cost cards is good. Like Wolf's Bite, for instance, is great. It deals 2 damage to something, gives you a wolf token, and then recycles, so it often draws a card. So I'm going to grab that one. Oh, you know what? I didn't pick real time, did I? So, when you're picking game modes, and you click new game here, there's that 48-hour option I was talking about, which is asynchronous, and players can take their time with their stuff and like walk away and come back. Versus real time. It's a little bit awkward. It's convenient when you're playing off stream and you might need to walk away, but like here, this person technically has 2 days to make a game action, so I guess there's no guarantee that they're here, so I should pick I should probably pick a real-time draft. Hey, look, there's the rules. Shuffle a stack of 120 cards, deal 5 to each player. They take 1 card of their 5, drafts it, passes the other 4. They take 2. Both players have drafted a bunch of times, have 30 card decks, and you play all 30 cards that you play. If you've seen a little bit of the game and you'd like to give it a try, you can install it on Steam, Android, or iOS. You can hop in the queue and play with me as well. It's completely free. You have all of the cards. You can draft as much as you want and play as much Constricted as you want. All right. This pack is a lot less good than the first pack we had and the other one. There aren't any really good free cards here. This has Ambush and is untargetable, and you can break it to draw 2 cards later, so I think I take that one. A lot of these other ones have loyalty abilities tied to them, and I don't really want to commit to a loyalty ability just yet, because I don't know exactly what alignments I'm going to be drafting. Loyalty 2, return all other champions to their owner's hand, and this is a Shadow Imp, so I think I'm going to go ahead and just grab these 2 blue cards and, like, start picking up Sage stuff. We'll see what else comes up before we commit to another color. So this is another good 0 cost. Like I said, you also want to prioritize 0 cost stuff early. It has Blitz, so it can activate right away. It's free. It activates to deal 2 damage to a target. Whenever you play a blue card, you ready it. So that seems pretty good. One of the things you have to think about a little bit differently in Epic, coming from Magic, is that the way the resource system in this game works, where you only have 1 card per turn, or 1 resource per turn, the amount of... I think I'm going to take Angel of the Gate here. Airborne Ambush, and it gains you 5 life each turn. Ambush cards are good to have too, because they give you ways to spend your gold on your opponent's turn. Things that bounce cards back to their controller's hand are more powerful in this game, just because of the tempo it generates if you're returning multiple 1-cost things. Wave of Transformation draws 2 cards as a pseudo sweeper, transform each champion into a wolf token. Airborne, unbanishable, other dragons get 5/5. I don't know that I have other dragons, but it's like pretty okay on its own. Okay, want that one? Thanks for making me a better Magic player and getting me motivated to vote. Put these towards Abzan Sacrifice. Thanks, Dolomite. It's good to have you here. So this is Loyalty, so that's not very good. Breakthrough. Put 3 wolves into play. When a wolf you control is broken, this card gets 3/3 till end of turn. It goes pretty wide. This is pretty good. It gives 5/5 and lets you draw 2 cards. Let's do that one. Big fan of drawing cards. So I've got mostly good and Sage cards at this point. Target champion gets unbreakable and untargetable this turn. That seems pretty good. Draw 2 cards or deal 3, 4, and 5 damage to 3 targets. Seems fine. And again, remember, you play every card you draft in this game. Untargetable, loyalty to gain blitz. I can probably draw a card and deal 2 damage to any target. So this pokes something, it replaces itself, and then it pokes more things when you play more Sage cards. I have a lot of Sage cards. When this card attacks, you may return target event card from your discard pile to your hand. Seems kind of weak for a 1-cost card. The rest of these cards aren't very great, though. The Gretchen is pretty good, though. Unblockable. When it comes into play, you draw 2 cards and it makes you untargetable. I don't have the loyalty for either of these other ones, so... Yes, it has to be, that's true. It has to be a 1-cost thing. Banish all 0-cost champions, draw a card, or if it's your turn, banish all 1-cost champions. So I think that's the pick up there. Having some number of sweepers in your deck tends to be good because you want to be able to reset the board in case you get behind. Lesson learned, draw 2 cards, or play an event card from your discard pile without paying its cost and then banish it. Oh, it's Snapcasters. That's sweet. When this card is broken, deal 5 damage to target player. If this card is your discard pile at the start of your turn, return it to play. Yeah, that sounds real obnoxious. So they have to banish it basically, or it keeps coming back. Draw 2 cards. If it's your turn, return 2 target champions to their hand and draw a card. Seems good. Again, bounce effects tend to be good. Hey, Wargy, thanks for the sub gifty. And Dolomite, welcome to chat. We got a ton of things that depend on Sage. I think I'm going to grab these 2 Sage cards. Target player discards 2 cards at the end of turn. That's, get a little mind rotty. Spike Trap. Deal 5 damage to each attacking champion. Recycle. Again, recycle means draw a card, and this is free, so it's like a combat trick that can kill their stuff that doesn't cost you a resource. That's good. If it's my turn, break all champions again. Grabbing some random sweepers is great. No, in limited, there is no ratio that you have to maintain. So it's like prioritizing drafting all the free cards you see is good. Draw 2 cards, banish target player's discard pile. Sure, it's like a draw 2 with a little bit added value. Blitz, unbreakable on your turn. Seems fine. Again, just don't want things with loyalty in these colors. There's not wax papers. Just go ahead and check them out. Loyalty 2, gain control of target champion this turn. It gains blitz, deal 2 damage to 2 targets. That sounds great. Blitz, loyalty X, for each card revealed, you may return 1 opposing champion to its owner's hand. That card seems absurd. Lord of the Arena, how many good cards do I have? I have a number of good cards here. This is a draw 2 though. I'm gonna take the draw 2 because I don't have quite that many good cards. Okay, so I get to mulligan here. I probably want to mulligan. Looking for some of my free spells. I'm gonna mulligan for it. I'm just gonna keep the Angel of the Gate. Again, you lose 1 starting life for each card you mulligan. So I start at 26 here, down from 30. So they played a 12-10 that has to attack each turn. And it draws 2 cards that they have loyalty to. That's pretty good. Let's play my Angel. You're not wrong, Wargy. You're not wrong. This thing in addition to me, 7/7 with Airborne and Ambush, so I can play it on their turn. It gains me 5 life each turn. This is probably a card I should add to my constructed deck. It's pretty powerful. The 7/7 stat line is pretty good. Deal 3 damage to a champion, gain 3. Or do they have 2 things to kill this? Might have like a deal 5 as well. But your turn, break target damage champion. Rude. And this is a good example. So even though they're down cards on this exchange, this is technically a good exchange for my opponent because they spent 2 free cards to kill my thing I spent 1 resource on. So they end up like up on tempo on that exchange because I spent a resource and they didn't in that exchange. Soul Hunter. I think I just play this out as a blocker. This thing comes back every turn and this has to attack. Yeah, the numbers in this game kind of seem like insanity when you're coming from Magic, just because they're like so large. I might just smash and burn here. Yeah, it draws me 2 cards as well. So let's kick this up to a 10-10. We'll draw 2. These will trade. Now, they could have a combat trick of their own here. If they have a way to, like, banish or kill this, we get a little bit blown out, I suppose. But my hand wasn't particularly good, and getting to trade these off sounds fantastic. Transform target champion into wolf token. Well, that's unfortunate. So transforming it gets rid of it, banishes it, so it's not going to get to come back. It tucks it under the bottom of my deck. Joyous Potato, thanks for the 23 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. That's a 6/6. Not a whole lot I can do about that. It's a 4-2 with Blitz. Oh, they didn't have loyalty for it. All right, so I'll start my turn. My turn's actually going to be pretty good here. So I get to play Force Mage. And again, there's no responses in this game. I just get to take all my game actions and I know they work. And then after I'm done doing stuff, my opponent gets to do stuff. So I get to go ahead and play this. Deal a damage here to kill this. And they can recycle with this. Oh, it's foil. I was like, why is it shiny? It's one of the cosmetics. That's sweet. And then... So this deals 2 to 2 targets, but... Oh, this has ambush too, so I can gain control of one of their things on their turn and then block with it. That's pretty sweet. I think I'm just gonna Psionic Assault them and like drain their hand here a little bit. So this, in order to get the gain control of something, I have to have loyalty too. So if I play Psionic Assault, what does recall do? When you recall this card, it returns from your discard pile to your hand. So if this comes back when I play a blue 1-cost card, right? So if I play this, I can pick it back up when I do this next turn. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. Pretty sure that's how this works. They have not played their 1-cost thing yet. Killing my wolf as opposed to my force mage is interesting. Maybe they have a way to kill the force mage as well. And again, you should just activate, unlike magic where it's usually correct to wait to activate your things, you want to think of the things in this game as having split second effectively. So while you can play things on your opponent's turn and you get priority after they have priority, their effects just happen. So if I don't use this and my opponent plays something out, to kill this, I don't get to use it in response. So they're attacking with the Raging T-Rex here. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. And then I choose the order that these things happen. So I'm going to recall this first so it comes back to my hand. Then we'll prepare this. Then I'll reveal these two, which allows me to gain control of their 6/6. Then I can go ahead and use this 6/6 to block their 12/10. So kind of stealing their thing and chumping with it, which is great. So they're trying to draw something useful with this by recycling. Yes, all damage is moved off of units at the end of turn in this, just like in Magic. This game also has a paper component, and keeping track of things like that in paper if they wanted things to not heal is a mess. Yes, reveal loyalty means reveal cards of that color. Most of them are loyalty 2, although some cards do have loyalty X where you can reveal more cards. This will have an activated ability to deal 2 damage to 2 targets starting next turn, which this, in unison with the Force Mage Apprentice, can allow me to pump out a lot of different damage to a lot of different targets, especially with Blue Dragon here, which deals more damage to when I play more blue cards. So we need to kind of get shooty bang bang next turn, start popping off some of their things. Deal 5 damage to each champion and player. Wait, what? If it's your turn, deal 5 damage each opposing champion and draw a card. Oh, okay. So they only killed my thing. So again, I didn't activate this to deal 2 to their face, so I kind of missed the value on it. Because I don't get to respond to their card, it just happens. Reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, choose a champion from among them, and play it, banish the rest. So I think I just want to play Blue Dragon to start here. Which lets me draw a card. And then deal 2 damage here. And then I can activate this to deal 2 damage to them and here to finish this off. I think I'm just passing here. The Secret Legion is probably something I want to do next turn to put a bunch of humans into play. So they used Recall to pick up Demon Breach, which puts 3 demons into play on their turn. Alright, so let's Secret Legion put some tokens into play. We'll go ahead and block here. This does not have breakthrough, so the human just gets crunched by it. We don't take anything, which is great. It is Marty. The music's kind of on point too. If you weren't here last week when we played through some of the campaign, the campaign story mode too is like very cheesy high fantasy in a good way. Transform each champion into a wolf. Okay, not interested in that, I don't think. So let's go this, deal 2 here, deal 2 here. Then I can play Misguide Herald, which deals 2 damage to this to finish it off. Then it looks at the top 5 cards of my deck here. I get to choose a champion. Unless attacks, I can choose an event card from my discard pile. I can take Smash and Burn back. Sweet. So let's go ahead and attack with this. Pitch back up Smash and Burn. And this has Airborne, so we'll get to attack with the 6/4 as well. Thought Plucker. Unblockable Ambush Tribute. This deals combat damage. When it enters play, they draw a discard. When it deals damage to me, I discard, they draw. Rude. That's not too big of a deal though, because it's just a 1/1. So next turn, I'll be able to play a blue card on their turn, which will trigger the blue dragon to kill that. And then we'll leave back these tokens to block their board. They're down to 16. So long as they don't kill my dragon before I get priority, we'll kill this before it hits us. Are there more card types besides Champion Event? I don't think so. Pretty sure the answer is no. Pretty sure the answer is no. At least not in the first 3 sets. There are four colors of cards. Well, that's super rude. Put a champion into play. So I'm going to have to discard 2 cards here. It's unfortunate because it gets blitz and gets to attack right away. Now it goes away at end of turn, though. I guess I'm in an okay spot here, huh? Oh, wait. Sweet. Oh, I guess it's going away at end of turn anyways. I guess if I play this, I get to recycle. So this will kill this and draw a card, rather than just discarding. Throw another offering in front of the dino. Blitz. Banish a card for deploy this card pile, sure. Break any number. Break any champion damaged by this card unless attacks. Put 2 counters on it. Cute. So this gives my other dragons 5/5, and this is a dragon, right? Yeah, it is. Okay, so let's start by attacking with this and see what happens. I'm gonna pick back up Secret Legion. And again, they don't get to respond to things in this game. They just happen. They just get a chance to do things, so they don't get to like exile this in response to me trying to pick it up, which is wonderful. I'm gonna go ahead and activate this and say deal 2 here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and play my big giant dragon out here, which makes this 11. So let's try and attack with this and see if they have a way to answer it or if they're dead. Look at that. Yeah, big dumb dragons. Big dumb dragons. And then the drafts in this game are just one game. So after you play, you get to go ahead and jump back in. You can make another deck. I'm gonna do drafting. I actually really like drafting in this game. I'm not a big fan of limited in Magic, but the way that the drafting goes pretty quickly, and it's just 2 of you, and your decks change every game, and it's just there's 1 of each card. It's more similar to Cube as opposed to like Magic drafting. I like it a lot better. The power level is a lot higher. Airborne Ambush. You may return target event card from your discard pile to your hand. Ambush, Blitz, unblockable. When you play a blue card, you can return this card to your hand from play. Oh, so this is cute. So when you play a blue card, you can pick it back up and then play it and hit them again. I'm gonna err on the side of free cards. I don't believe you collect. There are like Thought Pluckers, great. Final Task is also good. This is the one that they had that makes them discard Nostra, and then it can happen again when you hit them, which is pretty sweet. And this is actually the final task that Benny had used as well. So there are like daily quests that you can do that I can show after this one. They'll like go do specific tasks, and then you earn some of their in-game currency for doing that. But I don't believe there's prizes for the on-demand things. And I don't know offhand how their event stuff works. So I know at some point, I'm not sure if it's in yet, they're going to have events in game that you can purchase tickets to play in that will have prizes of some sort, but I don't offhand have the details on those. I think we're just going to err on going into Sage again here. I think Wolfspite is one of the better free cards in this game. It gives you a 2/2, it kills something, and then it can recycle 2 to draw a card, so definitely gonna snap that one off. So again, unlike in Constructed, there's no requirement on like what colors you have to have things. Normally in Constructed, in order to play a free card, you have to play 2 1-cost cards of that same color. In Limited, the Dark Draft, the only thing you have to worry about is like making sure you have enough cards of a faction to like activate your loyalty cards in that faction. Grab these. Just err on the side of Sage. Eventually, you'll be able to qualify for a world's tournament for them. Okay, sweet. So they're gonna link being able to qualify for paper things from the digital client. That's sweet. Gain control of target 0-cost champion or draw 2 cards. That seems good. You can steal one of their free cards with your free card. Kind of 2-for-1 them. Target champion gets 4/4 and breakthrough this turn. That card's great. And it's free, and it can also one of the things this game does really well is there's a lot of cards that are modal. So like this is spend it, play it as a 1-cost thing to draw 2 or a combat trick. This free card isn't really on theme. It gives your champions... I guess it gives non-good champions power up too. Put this towards Timur Domri, build around in Historic for good time's sake. Sounds good, Wargame. And thanks for all the support today. You're absurd. Draw 2 cards. Champions can't attack this turn. So this is like draw 2 Fog. Sign me up. Yeah, I agree, Jakari. The modal cards on... Oh, it did. If you want to do something else with the other 2,400, let me know. Feel free to DM me. So this draws 2. So it draws when it comes into play, and then when it damages an opponent or broken, it draws another card. That seems great. Seems reasonable as well. It's going to be like mostly Sage cards here. Feels like the opponent's not really drafting much blue. Getting what feels like a lot of good ones. Tribute, recycle. Yeah, I think I just want to prioritize getting free cards. Especially free champions are good because they allow you to get on the board without spending a resource. So that you can often make your opponent spend a resource to answer your board, and then you can catch back up with a 1-cost card as well. How much did the charity stream end up raising? We raised over $12,000. Like 12,600, I think was the final number. I don't have a bunch of wild champions, but this activates to make 2 wolves every turn, so that's fine, and has blitz, so it doesn't right away. Yeah, we thoroughly blew away my expectations. Force Mage is great. We have a bunch of Sage cards in our deck, so we're going to grab that one. Timebender. So it can return a champion to its hand. And again, bounce effects are very good in this game. Because of bouncing 1-cost things generates a lot of tempo. Because you only play one cost thing per turn. I've not pulled giveaways yet. I need to figure out I need to figure that out tonight, Gindi. Kong is my favorite. Just like great Flame Tongue Kavu, 13, 14 for 1. Dome something for 13 when it comes into play. So definitely going to snap that up, even though this is pretty good. I feel like 18 to 20 is just a good way of saying as many as possible, because you won't always see that many. Like, your deck's only 30 cards, you don't get two free cards every pack. Alright, so we grab 2 cards out of this last pack, and then we jump into a game with our drafted deck. Untargetable Blitz, sign me up. This is actually a good free one too. Ambush, Blitz, Unbreakable on my turn, and it's free. Alright, so again, we get a partial mulligan at the start of the game. I don't think I want Force Field, because this is kind of a trick. I want more cards that, let me actually hit them. Frost Giant is one. See, our deck's actually pretty aggressive, huh? This has Blitz and taps them out. This has Blitz and is a 10-10. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and get rid of these two and try and find some other aggressive cards. Perfect. Alright, well, so, I don't get to banish their stuff. They don't have any 0-cost things for me to banish, but I just want to, get in there and, rawr. I don't think I want to play this out just because... 1, I can't recycle until I have cards in my bin, and 2, This is a blue card that I can hold for activating loyalty abilities. Wonderful. See them chump block here. Seems fine. Oh, I'm dumb. I totes could have just bit that with a wolf. Yeah, whatever. Oopsie poopsie. The other human champions have 1 attack and are also evil. Put a human token into play. Or did they forget to activate that? It says Blitz, right? I think they forgot to activate that on my turn. Two arms! Murderous Necromancer. Wow, we're getting so super punished for, like, not... getting super punished for playing this out aggressively. Just have, like, a bunch of token makers. Rough. Break target champion, then put a zombie token into play under your control. Wow, that's gross. Oh. Yeah, I can technically bounce this to my hand. I need to get rid of this thing, though. I think I have to just bounce this, even though it makes some zombies when it comes into play. I might just, if I don't draw anything useful, just pick this up with this and then play it out to kill all their tokens and smack them for 10. That's probably an okay line here. Because this can return any champion to its owner's hand. That includes ours. Normally you don't want to be returning your own champions. Champions can't attack this turn. This does at least... I mean, I guess I could technically attack with this first and then bounce and replay it. Doesn't really change anything, but it's probably technically correct to do so. They might do something to it when I attack with it. That changes what I want to be, how I want to be approaching the game. Yep. This is the most likely outcome. All right, take two. Let's do it. We know one of their 4 cards right now is the Necromancer. Form is Great Wargi. That's probably fine though. Gain 1 life for each champion target player's discard. Oh, they're just drawing 2 with it. Sure. I'll see if they just activate or play the Necromancer again this turn or not, or if they do something else. Probably gonna ceasefire. just to draw 2 and get some stuff going in my hand. They're at 18. So like, depending on what their hand looks like here, there's a real chance that we want to. When this is expended, you may not be attacked. Well, that's super unfortunate. And it's gonna gain them life. This puts them up to 24. So we'll go down to 22, they'll go up to 24. I'm gonna wolf spike this human at end of turn. And then we'll start my turn. We're gonna time bender this avenging angel back to their hand so we can attack them. Start by attacking with this. There's probably a sweet Sage base Blitz deck in Constructed. One of the things that's nice the way this card acquisition system works, where you just kind of have everything. You get to there's plenty of room to brew stuff to gain control of their 0 cost things, so they don't get to block. We knew about that. So do you have another ambusher? If they actually don't have an ambush unit here, we get to kill them. This does 10. This does 2. That's 12. This does 2, this does 5, that's 19, and then this does 8, which is 27, and it actually picks this back up to do 2 more, so we can do 29 this turn, if they don't have a way to impact the board, if they have something like a draw 2 or something like that. Oh, yeah, looks like they're dead. So they just did 1 damage to each of our champion and draw a card. I guess they could technically have another free unit that could chump block. If they have another free unit that can chump block, they're okay here. But they don't have a free champion, we get to kill them this turn. Okay, yep. Alright, let's play this and recycle these and see what we draw. Oh, gosh. If I'd have done this pre-combat, I would have drawn Rage and I would have killed them this turn. That's super unfortunate. That's super unfortunate. I would have been able to give this 4/4 and breakthrough. This was only a 3/2. It's a little bit of a sequencing mistake on my part there. Definitely should have led on this card that was going to cantrip. Now the problem is, like, there's so many sweepers in this game. Like, my opponent could very easily have a sweeper here. So I can hit them down to 3. I feel like I have enough stuff in play that I'm just supposed to... Oh, I can hit them down to 1, actually, right? Because this comes back when I play a blue card. So I play this. This comes back to my hand. I do 8, 12, 14. I'm 1 point short because I messed up. I think I'm just going to use my resources here to draw 2 and then pass. Ambush, untargetable. I'm going to block. I assume the board's about to get swept. Yep. So good chance they get to recover here since I missed lethal. You may return a 1 cost shape your discard pile to your hand. Sure. This. This returns an event from my discard pile to my hand. Let's do that. Despite all the rage, do 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 do. I wish from an interface thing, when these cards have activated abilities, they pop up when you click on them. I kind of wish there was also an attack button when you clicked on them. It's weird to me. Maybe does double clicking on them attack with them? Maybe that works. That might actually work. I should try that next time. I bet I don't have to go into that other menu. Well, double clicking on this doesn't play it. Combat might be different though. Oh no! Oh, untargetable goes both ways. Yikes. Alright, well, let's draw 2. Whoopsie poopsie. It's like, why won't it let me click on a dude? He's untargetable. Yeah, it's not hexproof. This game's balanced. It's not like Magic. You don't get to get your cake and eat it too. Right, and I know they have this card. We saw that. That was when we bounced earlier. Yeah, I think we're going to lose this game because of that turn I missed lethal. Definitely feels like it's slipping away pretty quickly here. Thought Plucker can maybe drag us out a little bit. I have Kong to kill this thing too. So Plucker draws us a card. They discard a card. We'll go. Our turn will be Kong, kill your angel, rage this, make it a 7, attack, pick rage back up. And I suppose we might actually be okay. Alright, so gotta play Kong because we can't attack them while this is expended. And then we're gonna go ahead and rage this because this picks us an event card back up when it attacks, so we just get to rebuy the rage right away. I don't have anything airborne at the moment. They could play one. When this hits them, they discard a card and we draw a card. Gosh, this has Blitz too. There's a lot of good Siege things that Blitz. For those of you watching on YouTube in the future, I think my internet just cut out. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I'm gonna have to do some network diagnostic debugging stuff later today. It's the second time in 3 days, just like my entire internet connection is just like had a massive hiccup. Because it wasn't just Twitch, like my OBS dropped and like my web browsers dropped too. So this is the way the combat system in this game works. The attacking with your smaller things first tends to be good, because I basically don't want to block this, right? Because if I block Kong here, I can't block the potentially larger attackers later. Going down to 9 here. They're at 10. Hopefully Frost Giant tapping them out can be good here. Unbreakable on their turn, so this is an easy block. I'll block their 10 power thing with my 13, 14. What do I wanna do here? I guess I just lying in wait to draw 2 cards. Oh, wait. I can... Let's final task the War Machine. Because it breaks all their 0 cost things, which are their blockers here. So then Kong gets to start by attacking for lethal right away next turn. And like, if they do something to Kong, I get to, so they have to, like, they're dead to this, but then they're also dead to Frost Giant plus Rage, which is great. Got him. Just Kong's good enough. Sweet. Let's try and just fire another draft. I kind of like the draft mode. There's a lot of good variety in it. I don't know my way around the card pool well enough to really dip into Constructed a whole ton. I don't know, like what decks are popular or stuff to build interesting things. We could try and force different colors this game. Draka Enforcer seems okay. Airborne, Ambush, then it draws a card if you have loyalty to. This is the only free card here, and it doesn't seem very good. Picking up a loyalty 2 card first thing probably isn't stellar, though. I'm going to grab Hurricane to start because it doesn't have a loyalty thing tied to it. Draw a card. You may banish up to 3 target token champions. Seems pretty good. That's just a 13, 15 that cantrips. Deal 12 damage to target champion. Your dinosaurs get bigger. Loyalty. think I'm gonna grab this to start. This is like the only thing that doesn't force me into a specific. So this is good because it's a free card. Combat Trick can also draw 2 cards when we were playing with last game. Airborne Ambush may return target event card from your discard pile to your hand. That seems fine. It basically cantrips, right, with some selection. Yeah, so part of the reason why I find Magic Limited boring is because the power level of Magic Limited tends to be really low. But the power level of Limited in this game tends to be pretty close to the constructed power level. Even more so in some ways because of the way you get extra free cards when you're playing Limited in this game. I probably have enough for this to be fine. Remove another target champion from a battle. That seems fine. Don't suppose it is free. In fact, it's not just free to play like Magic Arena's free to play. It's free to play. So by just installing this game on any platform, you have access to every card in the client. There's no grinding. You can draft as much as you want. They're monetizing their game through cosmetics and eventually tournament tickets you'll be able to buy entry to. So you'll be able to pay an entry fee to enter special events. Discard a card, draw a card, and then recycle. That's probably fine as a free card. Opposing champions have -3 attack. Tribute, deal 3 damage each opposing champion. That's good. Cleans out tokens. So yeah, if you wanna give it a try, Android, iOS, and Steam. Obviously, it's on mobile. Our deck's kind of a hodgepodge this time through. This is break all champions. In worst case, it can draw a card, then recycle, so it draws 2. So I think I just take Plague. Having some Mana Sweepers in here is fine. The mobile client's very reasonable. I played a lot of their alpha, which was pretty close to the in-game interface that this one has a couple summers ago. And it's very, very, very functional. My deck's kind of all over the place this game. I don't really have a good lock onto a specific color type, so I don't really have good loyalty mechanics to pick up. Break target champion. The player's turn to put a zombie token into play. That seems good. Arcane Research seems great. Gives you a bunch of card selection. Only get 1 this pack though. So again, look at 5, take 1. I'm gonna take the Arcane Research because it's free here. Then the next pack we take 2. Gungeon's pretty good, just like a 2/1 unblockable that draws 2 and makes you untargetable. Your champions get unblockable and 2 attack. Deadly Raid seems sweet. Deadly Raid, along with all the blue Blitz cards, probably has a really sweet constructed deck. Do the colors of the cards matter since there's no resources? Not in draft. So well, that's not strictly true. So in draft, you still have to worry about loyalty mechanics. So loyalty 2, for example, means I get this added effect if I have 2 other good cards, yellow cards, to reveal from my hand when I play it. In constructed, the number... Hold on one moment. In constructed, the number of free cards of a specific color you can play. In construct, the number of cards of a specific color you can play that are free is dictated by how many 1-cost cards of that color you play. But in limited, that restriction doesn't exist. So the colors actually matter a little bit more in constructed than in limited. I have enough events for that to be useful. It picks an event up when it attacks. Airborne Blitz are good champions of righteousness. I think this is good even without too many other good cards. Feint is pretty good though. Remove all your attacking or blocking champions from battle and prepare them. And it draws cards. Draws. And things that draw 2 and have a little bit of extra utility tend to be very reasonable. This card attacks or blocks, it gains Unbreakable, and it has Ambush, so Master Zoe probably comes into play and eats something a lot of the time. Sweeper. This is just like a good finisher. It taps them out and has Blitz. So I have one more draft round here. We'll take 1 and then 2, and then we'll shuffle up our 30 cards and play. This one's gonna play. Each opponent discards a card. We draw a card. I don't think I have loyalty to blitz this one consistently in this deck. Yeah, my loyalties are kind of all over the place here, so I can just take the King of Shadows. No specific referral link for this. Just give it a search. Give it a search on Steam, or you can click on this link to find downloads to your specific store. So, no campaign-specific ones here. So, mulliganing at the start. I think my hand's actually pretty good. Get rid of that one. You get a partial mulligan for as many cards as... Let's play this one out. So 2-1 unblockable that draws 2 cards when it comes into play. You get to partial mulligan, and then you lose a life for each card you partial mulligan. This is a 5/5 that puts a demon into play when it comes out, and then it can break a champion you control to put 2 demons into play. So it basically like splits a demon every turn. That seems real good. Deals 4 damage to each attacking champion without airborne. That's not attacking, and it has 5 even if it was. This deals 3 to each opposing champion, so not quite useful here. So, kind of need to find one of our mini sweepers, but I think we had 3 or 4 of them in that draft. We'll get to go ahead and play Thought Plucker out here, which makes them discard and we draw. Return each champion to its owner's hand. Okay, I mean, this is technically like a reset, right? Like, it gets rid of all the tokens and it'll make them replay this later. So that's not the Stone Cold Wars. Let's see, I assume they're going to have a 1-cost card to play here. Deal 7 damage to each opposing player. Or draw a card and deal 7 damage to champions. They killed my Thought Plucker. Unsurprising. Banished my Thought Plucker. Transform each champion into a wolf token. Well, that'll do, pig. So I can transform things into wolves, and then eventually this will happen, and we'll return all their stuff. So that seems fine. I'll probably use the transform before they hit me this turn, rather than using my life total. Oh, this is target champion? Oh, I'm thinking of a different card. This is definitely target champion. Yikes. Well, I guess I'm gonna turn this one into a wolf then, so it can stop making demons on me. I'm gonna take a lot of damage this turn. I guess I could spend my free cards to live a little bit. Probably supposed to just hands from below one of these. I'm gonna go ahead and do this now before they can banish something from my graveyard. So it says discard a card, draw a card, and then we get to recycle. So put these on the bottom and then draw another card. Draw a card, banish up to 3 target token champions. Okay, that's good. Can stabilize here a little bit, hopefully. Down to 9 here. think there's a card that deals 8. It's the biggest burn spell in this game. They're just drawing 2, sure. Alright, if we don't get randomly burned out, I feel like we're in an okay spot. I've got Fumble to -10 attack something if it gets through. We cleaned out the board for the most part. I've got these zombies to block with. I've got Reset to pick the board up should things get a little dicey. Reset picking up my champion that draws 2 is pretty good. This makes their things bigger, but this makes all of them tiny. How's Epic feeling? It's good. The game, very grindy gameplay. If you're someone that's been a little bit dissatisfied with the combo orientation of a lot of the Magic Standard formats, Epic's definitely a good change of pace. Yeah, it looks like 26. Alright, so let's go ahead and reset here. So all the tokens go away. Huh? My hand's, like, not very good. A lot of my cards are reactive, so I don't really want to, like, play a card out and then give them a chance to do something, so I think I just want to, like, hang tight. Of course, if they have the card that, like, deals 8 to someone or something in their deck, they could be just drawing to that to, like, kill us when it happens. Deal 2 damage to each opposing champion. Tribute, put 2 demon tokens into play. Deals 9 to each champion. I think we just do that and clean their stuff out, huh? I guess I could just do this to do their things next turn. Nah, no, let's just clean it out. Nice even trade. Let's just pass the turn again. Is this its own? It is its own unique IP. Yep, it's made by a small game company called White Wizard Studios, or not studios, just White Wizard Games. Games is the correct last word. This is it's a paper card game as well. Did I just play that by mistake? I think I did. Well, I think I meant to click off of that one. I was zooming in to look at it. Now they're gonna get a chance to flash something in, and I can't react to it, so probably dead. I even have to discard here for just like max punishment. Yeah, that's awkward. It's an unfortunate end of the game. Felt like we were pretty far behind there anyways. We were like super low life total. Yes, they made Star Realms is another one of the games that they do. Let's try one more Dark Draft before we call it a day. Yeah, that was probably the worst of the decks we drafted today. It was pretty disjointed overall. I didn't feel like I didn't have any one loyalty that I was in to like get to leverage the more powerful loyalty-based cards. Fumble's a good one. Let's grab that one to start. Could move into wild here, draw 2 cards, or give a champion 10 attack and unbreakable. This gives 3/3 and breakthrough. Try those are two cards that seem pretty good for like punking people out. Tribute, draw a card. Your other wild champions have 1/1. You may play wild champions if they have ambush. That's sweet. Replaces itself too. Thought Plucker is pretty good though as well. Just like makes them discard you draw, and then makes them discard you draw every turn. It's kind of hard to pass up Plucky. Target a champion. Put 3 wolf tokens in play. Target a champion. Deal 2 damage for each wolf you have. Seems fine. So you got 3 wild cards, 2 sage cards so far. Again, you have to play every card you draft. Break all champions. Each player gets a zombie for each one. This really isn't a particularly good sweeper. Just because, like, it doesn't actually clean the board out. Oh, hey. This makes wolves. Alright, let's try and go Sage Wild so we can try and stay in two different factions here so we can... Love me surprise attack. Basically makes any of your cards ambush. Return a champion to sort of hand, then they banish a card from their hand, you draw a card. Seems good. Warrior Golem also seems good. Free cards are great. Yep, just staying on faction so we can trigger our loyalty cards consistently. Raven and Monster. Yep. Once you kind of pick a lane, it's easy to stay in it. Deviate for like some powerful zeros, but for the most part, just try and stay so we can hit our loyalty things as we want, as consistently as possible. Another card that makes wolves, just a good card in general too. Can kill something and make you a wolf token, and then also draws a card if you can recycle. Woof. This is just a generically good card. Airborne Blitz Righteousness, and then, while it's expended, you can't be attacked. And then this is a sweeper, so... Neither are on-faction cards for us based on what we're drafting, but they're fine. This is a 5/3 that's free, and whenever you play a wild card, you can pick it back up from your discard pile. So again, let's just prioritize getting more free cards. 7 damage to each opposing player. Draw a card, deal 7 damage to a champion. Sure. Airborne Blitz, put 3 +1/+1 counters on this card. Remove a counter, draw a card. It's kind of slow overall. This is our second time playing. They released on Steam last week, and we did one stream last week. Your champions gain breakthrough this turn. Put 2 and 1 cards on each of them. Target champion gets breakthrough. Put 5 counters on it. All right, yeah, let's do that one. It's called Epic Card Game. It's their digital client. It has a paper component. You can find it on Steam, Android, and iOS right now. Whenever you play a wild card, this gets bigger, and it has breakthrough. Got a good number of wild cards. Hey, more wolves. Put 5 human tokens into play, or banish all champions. Seems fine. Last draft round. This has Blitz. My deck's kind of aggressive. Let's just grab the aggressive card. Is he closer to Magic or Runeterra? I haven't played Runeterra. It has a number of parallels to Magic. The core tenet of the resource system that you need to understand to get some of the gameplay is that you'll notice all the cards either cost 1 or 0. And on each turn of the game, you get 1 coin to spend, and it's use it or lose it. I don't think I want This is like an overrun style effect. This resets the board. I don't think those are good cards to open with. Combat trick 2. So you get to partial mulligan, and you lose 1 life for each card you partial mulligan. This thing has blitz and makes 2 wolves every turn, which is sweet. Take over the game very quickly. Our first turn will probably be Pack Alpha, and then we'll Thought Plucker on their first turn. Although I think they're going first. So yeah, it says enemy turn over here, so we'll Thought Plucker on their end step. Get some cards going. Yes, Banned for Life. So there's not a strict priority system like in Magic where when I play my card in this game, it just resolves. But before you move on to the next part of a turn, your opponent always gets a chance to do something on that turn as well. So they passed me without doing anything. I decided to play this on their end step. And then if I had other things to do, I could play them out as well. But then when I'm done, I pass back to the opponent, and now we go back to their main phase, and they get a chance to play things again. And the turn cycle doesn't actually fully pass until both players have agreed to pass. So they banished my thing, and they drew a card, sure. And they played White Dragon as a 5/5 that draws a card here. I'm gonna go ahead and play Pack Alpha. Activate it, put 2 wolves into play. This also makes all my wild champions +1/+1. This effect, if this gets to stick around, is gonna make Hunting Pack real good here. This puts 3 into play and then deals 2 for each thing, so it's gonna kill most things. Well, let's see what they play out here. This has flying, so my wolves can't block it. Let's take our 5 down to 22. Don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22. Kong comes into play there. Kills my thing. This will unfortunately only deal 10 with my wolves. I think I'm just drawing 2 here. And then again, I played something on their turn, so they get a chance to do stuff. If they don't have anything to do, it passes back to me. We'll play Lycomancer here, which gains Blitz by revealing these 2 blue cards to my opponent. What was gold spent referring to? So gold is the one coin here. So you can see I played a 1-cost card, so my coin has gone away. My opponent has not played a 1-cost card for the turn, so they still have their coin. So, combat follows a similar path to Magic with the caveat that if you attack, you have multiple attack steps, and during each attack step, everything you attack with attacks as one big group. So, similar to how banding works in Magic, only on an individual scale. You don't have like one band that everything else also is still attacking. What did they pick back up? They picked Amnesia back up, sure. The combat system, the way there's multiple combat steps in a turn, creates a lot of intricacies in the orders in which you attack from turn to turn. So like, for example, if you have a bigger attacker you want to sneak past and your opponent has lots of large blockers in play, it's often right to attack with your smaller champions first, because if they choose to use their big champion to block one of your little champions coming through first, that then is ineligible to block again in that same turn. It can also happen where, like, when you attack with something, like, they'll do something inside of combat on that first attacker that then makes you not want to attack with something else that you were previously wanted to attack with, or make you want to attack with something you previously wanted to hold back. Yes, yep, you can double block. And the thing to know is when you double attack as a group, if they put one blocker in front of the group, that blocker soaks up everything from that group. So unless you want them to be able to block everything you're attacking with, you generally attack with things on an individual setting. Hopefully they play something here that dies to hunting pack. I'd love to. So we're looking for them to play something that has like 10 toughness or less. So we can put 3 wolves into play and gobble it up, and then have a lot of board presence to run them down with potentially. Can the opponent block a group with a group? They can. They turned my champion that transforms things into wolves. It's like Wolfception, chat. Alright, so we're a little bit out on board. I think I'm going to go ahead and just use the Divine Judgment to draw 2 cards here again. Lots of things that are modal in this game. So sweeping isn't useful. Drawing 2 is useful. A lot of the sweepers that draw 2, they only banish on your turn. There are some sweepers that are like sweepers on your opponent's turn as well, but those tend to be fewer and further between. Just wolves all the way down. So that's a 2/3. I don't believe evasion translates to a group. So if you attack with a flying and a non-flying unit, I believe the group effectively gets dragged to the ground. So there's a discard pile. However, this game doesn't have an effective equivalent to an exile zone. The way it works is when something gets banished in this game, it goes to the bottom of the player's deck. Because the way decking works in this game, if you manage to deck yourself, you actually win as opposing to losing. So this is a good example of attacking with multiple things. They have a 2/3 here, so I can't attack in just 1 2/2 profitably, but I can attack with all of these, and if they want to block with this 2/3, they have to block all of them, and then I'll effectively get to trade my 2/2 for their 2/3 because they're blocking my pack of wolves. And they elected not to block. Let's play this. It has the recycle mechanics. So I'll put 2 cards on the bottom of my deck and then draw a card. We'll go ahead and play Avenging Angel here and try and attack with her. This is a 6/6 with Airborne, Blitz, and Righteousness. And while it's expended, I cannot be attacked. And Righteousness is lifelink. So if this hits them, they go to 10, I go to 23, and then they can't attack me next turn unless they take this angel off the table. Correct, Bant. Okay, I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like that's pretty okay for us. They played Zombie Apocalypse. It, like, killed all the things, and then we all got some zombies. So, like, I have more cards in hand than they do, and I have 1 more zombie in place. We're, like, slightly ahead, but, like, ever so slightly. Very close game. That's a good way to turn the tide. Alright, so I got rid of my tokens. Alright, so I'm going to play this. Reveal these. So this has Blitz, so it can activate right away. So I'm going to go ahead and block their 2/2 here. And then we'll activate it to deal 4 damage to their other 2/2. So this enters play, I draw a card. When this damages an opponent or is broken, draw a card. So let's play this, I think. Let's just go ahead and pass. So I can block their 9-8 with my 4-3 and then finish it with my 5-5 activation. Drive safe, Beansy. Yeah, we got really fortunate. We took the kids to see Paw Patrol live last night, and they had covered parking, which was great. Return a champion to its owner's hand. Wow, that's good. I guess I get to redeploy it here, which isn't too bad. So the notification at 4:30, Malevolence, was because my internet disconnected. So I went live again at 4:30 because I had a hiccup. So it's definitely live this morning at 8 a.m. If you didn't get a notification, I'd encourage you to stop using Twitch for notifications and follow me on Twitter or in the subscribers Discord server. I tag people when I go live. And I'm the only person that can @ everyone on the subs Discord server, so you don't get spammed there by turning it on. People telling me that that they don't get Twitch notifications happens pretty consistently. You can also follow my schedule on my website. It gets posted there. Yeah, you're far from the only person that has that issue. Weird. It's weird that you got one this afternoon, but not this morning. So I guess they're just like super bad. They're just very inconsistent. I think I'm just gonna fumble this and make this not hit me this turn. It gives something -10. I can't recycle, but my hand's pretty full. I just want to gain 10 here. This is untargetable, and it's 11-14. Banish all champions. This is probably what I'm doing next turn. I'm just gonna send 4 to their face, and then yeah, let's do this. So, some of these cards, like, I just banished it, of course. Some cards have a mechanic called Loyalty on them, which give you an added effect if you have other cards in your hand to reveal that same color to encourage you to stay. On the move. So that encourage you to stay within specific colors. And then in Constructed, there's a deck building restriction. In Constructed, there's a deck building restriction that you can only have 1 free card in your deck, 1 0-cost card in your deck of a color, for every 2 1-cost cards of that color. So Constructed has a little bit more restricted than Limited is. Because in Limited, you're only worried about loyalties, whereas in Constructed, which good free cards you have access to is dictated by which 1-cost cards you play. And then decks are 60 cards in Constructed, so generally your cards are 41 cost cards and 20 free cards. Following that 2-to-1 rule. Feels like a flavor win. The picture's lighting a wolf on fire, and they just lit my wolf on fire. Yikes. Yep. Well. Sneak it. Surprise attack's actually a good draw here, because it lets me surprise attack in this flying blocker inside of combat to block their 8-8, which is great.
Eat dirt.
No ban for life, like I said. So when you don't get to respond to cards in this game, so like when your opponent has a chance to play something, it just happens. The difference between this and Magic is though, you get to, you do get a chance to play things before the next part of the turn advances. So you can play cards on your opponent's turn, but there's no stack like in Magic. This doesn't have breakthrough rate, no. So now it's their turn. They've attacked. Before we get to blockers, I'm going to surprise attack and then put this flying unit into play. And now before I get to block with it, they get a chance to play stuff. So if they have a removal spell for this, we are dead because both of these fly. If they don't have a removal spell and I get to block here, we're in a pretty okay spot because I have a 13-15 in play. So there's back and forth. I actually really like the gameplay in this game because like the fact that there's like instant speed style stuff gives you the back and forth that I like for Magic, but there's no feel bad counter spells because let's be honest, counter spells really feel bad. All right, they could just have like another 4 damage here and then we're dead. So they put us to 4, or do they just have a sweeper? You can't remember the last time you saw an ad on this channel. Deal 5 damage to target player. Yep, it'll do big. Close game. This came up a little bit short on flying things at the end. If you are a Twitch subscriber on my channel, Matsu, you don't see Twitch roll advertisements. And then I only do my product plugs like once a day or so. So yeah, at any rate, this is Epic Digital. You can find it on Steam for the PC and on iOS and Android. You can click the link there to get direct links to install there. Just by installing, you have access to all of the cards in the game, so you can get a poke around with Constructed or play Dark Draft like we were just playing there. There's four different colors. Lots of I like the artwork too. I have a bunch of these cards in paper too because I played a little bit at Gen Con before. Oh, you're saying you just got an ad, but you're subbed. If you just resubbed to the channel, you need to refresh your browser page sometimes because it doesn't, Twitch is buggy. But if you didn't just resub and you just got an ad, you should report that as a bug to Twitch. That has nothing to do with the sponsor. That's just Twitch messing up. Which the sponsor would much rather you come in and see their content rather than see a Twitch advertisement. All right, any rate, that's gonna be it for me today. We've been live for like 9-ish hours, so that's enough for me. I'll be back tomorrow morning with some Magic, and then we're gonna do one more Epic Digital segment Friday afternoon if you're enjoying this one. And remember, the game is completely free to play, so if you give it an install, maybe we can play some games together on Friday afternoon. Catch everyone around later, and enjoy the rest of your afternoon.